What is up, you guys? JZB Moto here, and I am actually really excited right now because I just got all of my suspension tuned on my Ducati Panigale V2, and I'm just super excited about how it all happened, and I can't wait to tell you guys all about it. But first, it looks like I need to go get gas. So, the other day, as you guys know, I just got this bike, or maybe you don't know that, but I just got this bike. Like, if I look at the tachometer, or the odometer, my bad, I only have 519 miles on it, which it's not a lot of miles. So, I have been still getting used to it, getting accustomed to, you know, how it all feels and all that stuff. And lately, when I've been getting on the highway, I've just been noticing when I go over like some bridges and stuff that the bike, it just felt, you know, kind of unstable. And so I was like, okay, that's weird. This bike should be like effortless to go fast. And it just wasn't feeling very effortless. So I figured, hey, there's probably something up with the suspension, and I need to get that looked at like ASAP. So I did some research online and everything, and I was starting to learn about how to set sag and all of that stuff on this specific bike. And then I came across a YouTube channel for a guy named David Moss, who owns David Moss Tuning. And I liked a lot of what I saw. So apparently this guy has an amazing reputation, an amazing community of people who really, really trust him with setting up the suspensions on their motorcycles, which is actually really cool. And so I was watching his videos, and I was like, oh, I wonder, like, if this guy would be open to helping me, like, over the phone to set up all these settings. And sure enough, like, as I was watching the video that I was watching on YouTube, at the end of that video was a little message saying, hey, like, go to davidmosstuning.com and set up your remote tuning session with David Moss. And I was like, oh, that's super cool. So I went to the website immediately. I filled out the little form that he has there. And once I did that, David contacted me within like a few hours requesting some information from me. Basically all in the hopes of helping me set up my suspension. So here's what he helped me with, and I'll tell you everything that he requested at the beginning to basically help me to do this all smoothly. So David helped me over FaceTime to adjust my front forks. So that's adjusting the settings at the bottom of the forks and at the top of the forks. He helped me to adjust my rear shock, or whatever you call it, preload, all that stuff. He helped me to adjust all of the settings on that. He helped me to adjust the ergonomics on my bike. So he helped me to adjust my left and right handles, my clutch levers, my brake lever, and all that, just to make sure that it was easy for me to manage those things without too much effort. And he helped me to set up my, or not really set up, but he helped to verify that I did not need to modify my front, my clutch or my brake lever, my rear brake lever. So he helped me to make sure that all of the ergonomics on my bike were set up for me, which was a freaking amazing experience. And here's what the process was like. I reached out to him, and then I reached out to him over the form on his website. He emailed me back, said he was excited to get started. And he asks you, like, hey, do you want to do this over a phone call? Do you want to do this over video or FaceTime? Do you want to do it over email? How do you want to do it? So based on your experience and your comfort level with the bike, there's an option level for you. But at first, he requested a couple different things from me. He wanted, like, the make and model of my bike, how many miles I have, any service that I've done on the bike. A lot of what he asked me was not applicable because this is such a new bike. Like, he asked, like, when the last fork service was, when the last oil service was, all that stuff. And then he asked for basically he asked me to put a zip tie on my front fork so that I could kind of measure how much my front fork was compressing before we worked together. So I did that, and I sent him a picture of how much my front fork was traveling. I sent him a picture of my front tire. I sent him a picture of my rear shock. I sent him a picture of my triple tree. And I want to say that that's it. I might have sent him some more photos, but I don't remember of what. But basically, he asked you for a couple photos to verify some things on his bike, and then he asks you for your weight without gear. So this guy, like, he has been adjusting so many bike suspensions and has, like, tuned them that he knows, like, how to, like, what should be the starting settings based on how heavy you are and how tall you are. Like, just imagine how many bikes that you need to tune in order to, like, do all that math in your head to form all of these starting points, which makes sense, right? Like, I'm in brand strategy and marketing, and I do a lot of photography and video, and, you know, when someone needs something done, or you know, when somebody asks for help, I can pretty much tell them off the top of my head everything that they need to do. So it's no different for an expert in his level or his field, which is motorcycle suspensions. So I asked him for all those details, and then he sent me back some initial settings, which, well, he didn't send me back initial settings. He helped me to set up all the initial settings, and then went from there. And then he instructed me to go on a ride, to which point I did. Hold on, guys. Okay, so as I was saying, Dave basically, like, was able to take all the information that I sent him and I guess make some kind of mental calculations in his brain based on the photos that I sent him and based on, like, how heavy I was, all that stuff, and basically give me some suspension settings to start with. And he helped me to dial in all those settings while we were on our FaceTime call, which was, like, super cool. So then after that, I went for a short ride, maybe like a 20-30 minute ride on the highway. I went through a little bit of turns just to test the performance of the settings that he gave me, and it was like immediately better, like night and day difference. Even though the settings weren't complete yet, it was still like a night and day difference compared to what I had experienced before. So that part was awesome. So after I got done on that like short 20-minute ride, Dave asked for some additional pictures of my rear shock and of my front shock travel. So I sent him those, and once I sent him those, he almost immediately, like within a few minutes time, sent me another text back with some additional settings to dial in. And I had my screwdrivers with me to make the appropriate modifications. So once I made those, I went on another bike ride, and that's the ride that I'm on currently. Oh wait, no, I went for another ride and then sent him some I sent him some pictures after that ride, and he sent me back a text that said essentially my shock travel looks good. So now what I'm doing over the next few weeks is I'm just riding the bike and feeling it out, seeing how it operates in turns, in twisties, in straights, all that stuff. And then my assignment is to report back to him in a month or so about how things are going, with any like verbal explanation about things that I feel in the bike, how it's turning, if I feel any negative things in the turns, all that stuff. So once I know all of those details, then we'll make like some additional adjustments from there, which is cool. But for anyone whose bike feels, you know, a little bit shaky or isn't performing well, something that I encourage you to do is to book an appointment with Dave. I think it's DaveMossTuning.com. I'll put the URL on the screen right now, and I'll also put it in the description down below. And if you do end up taking advantage of this service, at the time of recording, it's I think $80 for every half hour. So if you end up taking advantage of that, tell him Zach sent you, and I think that's a really awesome way to get everything done. If you're noticing, you know, any issues with your bike, if you're noticing that it's wobbling at high speeds, or maybe not tipping into corners the way it's supposed to, maybe not gripping well enough in the corners, little things like this. If you're like me, your first question may have been like, do I just suck? And then I did a little bit of research and I realized, wait, no, I just got a new bike from the factory and the suspension is not tuned for me. So let me see what I can do about fixing that. And it just so happened that I arrived at the conclusion of working with Dave Moss. I'm not sure what he goes by, but after working with him, that seemed to go a long way to resolve my issue of making sure my bike was set up in the correct way. And it seems that it is now. It's a night and day difference from what it was before. And I'm thankful that we live in a day and age where experts like Dave Moss are just an email or a text away. Very thankful that we live in that point in time. And I encourage anyone who needs supplementation in a particular area, whether it be professionally or with just something like this, that they reach out to an expert to get assistance, because now when I'm out riding, I have the confidence that someone like Dave helped me to set everything up in the correct way. That really goes a long way. When I'm in a straight or in a curve, I have a great degree of confidence in Dave's expertise. So now, if the bike is doing something weird, I can just pretty much say, okay, it may not be the bike doing something weird, it might be me, because the bike is set up in the correct way, which enables me to make the appropriate corrections when I'm out riding. Now, the next steps for Dave and I is I'm going to be riding around for a month, maybe 2 months, and then I'm going to report back with what I find, and then we're going to make some additional adjustments from there if necessary. At which point I may talk to you guys more about that, but yeah, that's where we are so far. I hope this has been helpful for you, and I hope you guys reach out to Dave if you realize that your suspension is a great area of importance for you, and it's something that you want to fix. Dave's your man. Tell him I sent you. Alright guys, that's it for now. I'm gonna go pick up my dog and then go visit my mom. Peace out.